Guys, it's been a decent year for England's youth side. Well, some are better yet put. The under-21s are going to be playing in their championship. We don't know how that's going to happen. The under-17s, unfortunately, well, it is sad that they could have won it. They dropped, they bottled their lead in the final in the under-17 European Championship, lost on penalties to Spain. The under-20, sorry, have eventually managed to beat Venezuela and be crowned champions of the world at under-20 level. And we've got retaining the Toulon tournament. Now that's 2 out of 3, and it really should be 3 out of 3 if the under-17s retain their lead and stuff like that. But that is very good. I mean, last year at the Toulouse tournament, it was the under-21s that played and retained it. Naturally, of course, they've gone off to the championship or playing at the championship later, so the same players can't play, burnout, etc., etc. So yeah, it's nice to see players that didn't really have any men's football at higher level experience. You look at Ike Agbo. I mean, they played for the under-23s and things like that. Martel, Harvey Barnes, Hurst of Sheffield Wednesday, that I think is real good. Slattery, I can't say his name, very good player of Southampton. These sort of players that are of lesser experience, to see them go and retain it speaks volumes. It shows that creating talent isn't the problem. Now, of course, with regards to the tournaments I've mentioned and 2 out of 3, there's no doubt everyone from the Sun to the Daily Mail is going to do them things where they say how the team is going to look in 2022. It's not going to happen. There's many reasons, too much for me to even talk about, as to why English players don't replicate on the legit stage. But I'm going to talk through a few. The first one is players. Obviously, like I just said, it's not a problem for teams to create talent. Teams will always create talent. You've seen even guys like Benica Phoebe and Wickham get honours for at youth level. Sterling the same. There's been winners. Creating talent isn't the problem. For me, it's all the big clubs and small clubs. It's a melting pot. Whether you're Sunderland, who just got relegated, or you're Chelsea, who just won the league, both sides, there's cases they could have introduced young players, but they both, if you're fighting relegation and trying to win the league, you really have to try tried and trusted players, because you've got fan pressure, you've got owner pressure, you've got your pressure, and yeah, your football's a fickle job. We know if you, as a manager, you can be out of a role like that, so there's not really time long term unless you're in a position like that. So they're in a melting pot in regards to, you need to rely on an injury or a manager just taking a chance or impressing or whatnot. There is small cases of that happening. You look at Rashford, you look at Iwobi. They got their chances in similar circumstances, injuries, etc. Got their chances. But for everyone like that, there's players that are just as good as them or that haven't got their chances and have fallen by the wayside because there hasn't been them rare occasions of a player sneaking in. Typically, we always know that is how it's always going to happen in football. But it needs to happen on a more wilder scale. People just need to have trust, and it's not going to happen because everybody's fighting each other. If United give chance to say, okay, we're going to try 6, 7 young players, and Arsenal, etc., don't, who is going to fall behind? Who risks falling behind? Who are the fans at United or whoever, I just happen to use them as an example, are going to say, why are you doing this, that, and the third? So yeah, there's that. There's, of course, there's just downright picking the wrong side for senior football. No disrespect to Wayne Rooney, but I do believe he should have been dropped for a while. He has been dropped now, but how much times did you see Rooney coming to the side? Someone have to be dropped, or the style of play would change. Saying an attack at Rooney, this is just the attack at the managers. You also got to look at the negative style of football. I mean, from Roy Hodgson to Big Sam briefly to even Southgate, who seemed to have reversed his stance and how he likes to play. It's just a team of builders, relied on individual brilliance, the wrong players taking set pieces, just a bunch of individuals and things like that. There's many different reasons as to why. Creating talent will never be a problem for England. Been having talented players. It's just getting over that. I don't think England will ever be able to do a thing where Germany had Muller, Ozil, Khedira, whoever you want, put their hat on that, said under 17s, 19s, 21s, first team, you saw it flourish. I don't think that's going to happen, in the sense that they're not going to put their hat around Lewis Cook, Reece Nelson, Jadon Sancho, a couple of them Southampton boys. There's a couple talents at Manchester United. There's a couple of players, Tom Davies. These likes of players, they're not going to put their hat on that, on a cropped of them, and take a chance. There are steps in the right direction, like I said, winning stuff at youth level, especially the Chelsea boys have replicated their club form for England. A crop of players, especially I would say the under-20s team that just won the World Cup. That team has been playing together for a while. Maitland-Niles and Omar Lookman have been together from last summer and the summer before. Some of them. So yeah, for me the key thing is just to knock big players up. That's just it. That's it. Because typically I'm not saying other countries don't big their players up, but they're just simply a good player amongst the others. I don't hear Spanish media or whatnot praising Asensio. I'm using Asensio because he's just come on the scene basically on a major scene for Real Madrid, doing bits, scoring in Champions League finals, making a difference. And you don't really hear them bigging him up saying he can do this, that, and the third. But if Asensio was English before he even got to that to that stage of the Champions League, you would have heard he can do this, he can do that. And then what would make it worse? They'd big him up to crush him down. That's just the nature of this game and the nature of English football. Until England put their hat on a bunch of names, or young names, or just give faith and pick players on merit on the wider scale, it's not going to happen. I say merit lightly because it's a mix of, you have to, whether you're a manager or not, and they're playing or not, you're going to pick players you can trust, and you're going to need players that are playing regular football and things like that. So you have to marry the two. We've seen managers pick players they just simply trust whether they're playing or not and failed. We've seen managers pick players that don't normally get a look and they've been playing well and failed. So guys, I don't know. I don't even know the purpose of this video. It's just some thoughts on my mind I thought I'd share with you guys. There's a lot of problems wrong with the English game and things like that. We know the riches of the Premier League, the competitiveness of the Premier League. I'm talking in regards to the actual domestic sides fighting against each other. We know these are a lot of things at play. Spain, Germany, because of the big boys, they can essentially develop talent, and the teams are not really pressured, and they can really use their in-house stuff. England don't really get that, especially when you consider the riches of the Premier League. To put into context, the riches of the Premier League. Sunderland's wage bill is more than Atletico Madrid, Simeone's, man. Mind-boggling. I know when you consider they've got Griezmann, Lacazette, etc. And Sunderland have Lyndon Gooch. It's crazy, isn't it? Anyways, guys, Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. I'm waffling too long. Subscribe, comment. You guys know.